For our community learning service project, we decided to research intuitive eating. Because we are talking about intuitive eating, which is an option for eating disorder recovery, we wanted to mention that eating disorders will be mentioned throughout this presentation for anyone who may need a heads up. So, to define intuitive eating, it's a self-care eating framework which integrates instinct, emotion, and rational thought. It was established by two dietitians, Evelyn Triboli and Elise Resch, and they created it as an anti-diet approach. So there are 10 principles of intuitive eating. And so the first one is to reject diet mentality. So diets are often unrealistic, short-term, unsustainable, and restrictive. And so intuitive eating seeks to be the opposite of all of these elements. Next is honoring your hunger. Simply put, hunger is natural, and it's important to recognize when you're hungry and address it. Next is making peace with food. And this is really about allowing yourself to eat as your body demands. So diets will often include denying yourself food when you're hungry, and so making peace with eating is an important aspect of intuitive eating. Next is challenging the food police. And so this is stop labeling food as good and bad. Obviously, this is very difficult given a lot of social stigma around foods. Foods are often marketed as good and bad, and so being able to recognize that everything in moderation will allow you to lead a healthy lifestyle and still be able to enjoy the foods that you want. Next is the satisfaction factor. So you want to enjoy what you're eating. Often diets will, because they are restrictive, they'll limit people to food that they don't enjoy. And so it's important, because eating is so crucial, it's important that what you are eating makes you happy. And so you need that in your intuitive eating. Next is feeling your fullness. And so this comes with mindful eating. So while you are recognizing your hunger cues, you also want to recognize when you are full and when it's an appropriate time to stop eating. Next is coping with your emotions. So food is often used as a avoidance technique for when people may be overwhelmed or don't want to face their problems. So coming face to face with what may be causing you stress or unrest through other healthy techniques allows you to enjoy food as it should be and not a coping mechanism. Next is respecting your body. And this can be difficult for a lot of people, as it is absolutely a mindset that people spend whole lifetimes working on. However, respecting your body and what it allows you to do is a really key part in mindful eating. Next is feeling movement. So recognize when your body is craving exercise. Your body's desire to move is natural and goes hand in hand with eating habits. So recognizing that when your body's asking to move, you honor that. Finally, honoring your health. So like we said before, everything in moderation is a very important aspect of intuitive eating. And surrounding yourself with foods that allow you to make healthy choices is a really key aspect to being successful with this. So we chose to research intuitive eating for several reasons. The first is to combat diet culture, especially given the population that we are trying to educate, the students at Simmons University. College students are at a really high risk for falling into disordered eating habits, and so combating it from a young age can help set up lifelong healthy eating habits and have innumerable benefits. Second is social media trends. So intuitive eating has been popularized on platforms such as TikTok and Instagram. And so while many people may want to try it, they may not have all of the educational information that they need. So demystifying intuitive eating allows people to practice it to the best of their ability and have the most success with it. And that's what this project sought to do. Next, like we mentioned before, is the vulnerability. So college is a large transition period for many people. People are living on their own. They're not supervised. There are new stressors and new influences. And these are only some impacts or aspects that may impact people's eating habits. So some of our research included the people behind intuitive eating. And this is Evelyn Triboli. She is one of the dietitians who developed the concept of intuitive eating with an emphasis on listening to your body. And it's not a diet plan. It's not rules, and there's no end goal. It's a lifestyle, and it's developing healthy habits. And so Evelyn Triboli has written 9 books and is behind obviously over 100 studies. So she is a great resource to look into for those who want to learn more about intuitive eating. Next is Alyssa Ramsey. She's an intuitive eating counselor who began as a nutrition coach. So while she did not develop intuitive eating, she has found the most success with her clients through intuitive eating, and she also honors the concept of healthy at every size, which really combats a lot of stigma in diet culture. Next is Victoria Garrick. So she is someone that we turn to for a visual of how to model intuitive eating day to day. She is a face that many people see on Instagram and TikTok, as she's an advocate for ED recovery, balanced eating in general, and mental health. And so she has a lot of podcasts and YouTube videos that allow people a good visual sense of what intuitive eating may look like when you're practicing it day to day. Next, we have some studies linked here. So intuitive eating is a relatively new concept, and many people may view it as a fluffy kind of science. However, several studies have been done, and intuitive eating has been found to both be positively related to better psychological health and overall eating habits. Obviously, it was not used as a mechanism for weight loss. However, it has helped people maintain healthy weights or even lose weight as they develop better habits. Intuitive eating, because it is not restrictive and inclusive, it directly challenges disordered eating habits, and in turn, it can promote better self-esteem, better body appreciation, and overall optimism. And the physiological effects of this are significant. As people listen to their body and what they crave, they do migrate towards healthier options: leafy greens, fruits, water, the dairy they need. And so in turn, this can help by lowering blood pressure and helping establish good cholesterol levels. And so these are 2 studies that were done by credible sources. These are some literature reviews and just give more substantial support to the concept of intuitive eating. And so finally, this is our community deliverable that we created for Simmons, and this kind of summarizes the points that we have talked about. So on the left, you see the basics of intuitive eating and the findings that support practicing this. And on the bottom left, you can see a comparison between dieting and intuitive eating. And the key takeaway overall is mindfulness, honoring your body, recognizing what you need, and letting eating be a healthy, enjoyable part of your life. On the right here, we have supplied some links and resources for people who are interested in learning more about this and possibly practicing it. So for some concluding thoughts, the key to practicing intuitive eating correctly is being educated about it and practicing it right. It can be adapted to a wide variety of diets, lifestyles, and personal needs. And just because it's popularized or just because it's different than other diets doesn't mean that it's the right fit for you. So staying open-minded and recognizing what's best for your own body is truly the best way to take care of your own health. So that is our presentation on intuitive eating, and we're really excited to share this with the Simmons community and hopefully promote some good eating habits.